right, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai. All right, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone rule well, and I also want to say peace and blessing salutation to the hopeful elect. On the high spirit we in Judah of the GMS Mississippi camp. All right, and before I want to get into the lesson, I also want to, say, send up your prayers to the church out there in Houston, because you got the hurricane and the flood out there, and, some of the brothers were affected. So I don't know a lot about the situation, but I, just exhort brothers to send their prayers up to our body out there, the members of our body. All right. But without further ado, I'm just going to get into the topic of basically how we cause our own effect when it comes to health. There's a lady at the time that, her video was uploaded to YouTube. She was about 74 years old. All right. And I believe her name is Annette Jenkins, but I could be wrong. But basically, you can look up 74-year-old vegan, and it's going to be a so-called black woman from Florida. And around the 60s, she worked at a butcher shop. I think it was her husband's butcher shop. And after that, she decided to go raw vegan, meaning she didn't eat meat or dairy. But not only that, she pretty much didn't eat cooked food. She just basically grew her own garden and ate out of her garden and caught natural rainwater in her own backyard. And she's been doing this since the 60s. But if you look at her, she looks no older than her later 30s, if that. Okay, she was at the time she was about 74, but she looked no more than about 40, man. All right. But one thing that she said that it could be quoted is that people dig their graves with their forks. So that's where I wanted to build from. That our people, especially Israel, the northern and the southern kingdom, so-called Negro and the so-called Hispanic, they pretty much dig their own graves with their forks. All right, that cause their own effect by what they put into their bodies. About 90% of the diseases that you have is based on what you put in your bodies. But Jake is blind to the effect that they cause their own effect. So when your aunt is on chemo for cancer and your uncle is in and out the hospital because of high blood pressure and this or that, he did that. His ignorance, because the paradigm is off. Where our association with food is off. Just like in the 60s, in the 50s, you had so many Americans that smoked cigarettes, but they were totally oblivious at that time to what cigarettes was causing, the harm that cigarettes was causing. But that was causing their own effect when they later on got the lung cancer and the emphysema, all right? But at that time, they were totally ignorant to what those diseases were causing at that time. But later on down, decades later, now it's a common thing that the thing that was a norm was actually detrimental. So now it's a norm going out to eat or going through a drive-thru and eating Church's greasy chicken. Now it's a norm, but just like those cigarettes, a lot of people choose to be totally oblivious and ignorant to the effect that it caused, because the poison is a norm. So that's part of the social construct in America. And you getting sick is a very lucrative business. But stemming back to the original point, which was what? You cause your own effect when it comes to health. Now, some things we can't control, like the chemtrails flying over us, or just a toxin that comes from these vehicles, or this industrialized society we live in, emitting all types of poisons in the air. You bathing in basically cesspool water, all right? And all the water that comes from your house, it goes to a cesspool, the toilet water, everything. And when they so-called purify it at the cesspool, they send it right back to the grid. They send it right back to your house. So your faucet water, all that comes, from my understanding, to the cesspool. And I've actually been out there, man, all right? So, some things you can't help, like what you shower in, all right, what you wash your face in. But as far as what you put in your body, man, you can help that, man. A lot of brothers in this truth, they're unhealthy. The Most High elevated us, man. It ain't just about keeping the law. It's not just about not eating pork. Yeah, that's the basis of coming back to our nationality and keeping the laws of the Most High. But another thing is to honor yourself, man. There's a scripture in Sirach, it says, glorify thy soul with meekness and give it honor according to the meekness thereof. Give it honor according to the dignity thereof. The word dignity goes back to the word self-worth or worth. Here's the word dignities. All right, dignities, man. People that's in a high worthy position. So you're supposed to glorify yourself with great dignity, man. I mean, you're supposed to esteem yourself in worth, that you're supposed to care about yourself or your souls to the point where you care about what you put into your body. So when you, and to put that into context of this lesson, when you eat your food, you're supposed to eat your food with care. So how do you eat your food with care? You eat your food with care by nourishment. You make sure what you put into your body is nourishing your body. The word nourishment is where you get the word nutrition from. The word nutrition goes back to the word nourishment. So you nourish your body by the nutrition you get from the food that you eat, man. When you only put junk food in your body based on the taste and the sensuality that you get from it, the satisfaction that you get from it, all right, that's not self-care. That's not a reflection of having great self-worth, man, or great self-regard about yourself, man. All right, you're killing yourself. So when you have all these unfortunate things happen to you, just think about how you didn't have self-worth and you caused your own effect, man. You didn't give yourself self-worth and you didn't nourish yourself, and you basically caused your own effect when you got sick. Okay? It's all about causing your own effect, you know, Akim. But, you know, with that, I hope you brothers are edified. To the next lesson, Shalom.